It's all come down to this. With just more than 24 hours left, the presidential nominees are making their final pitches in battleground states.
In one day, we are going to win the great state of Florida, and we are going to take back the White House. We're going to take it back.
Donald Trump starting his day in Florida and ending it here in North Carolina, a state he's been fighting Hillary Clinton's campaign for months.
So tomorrow you vote for change. The only question is, are you going to change backwards and go back to what messed us up, or change forward and build on what's been done so we can have shared prosperity?
So who has what it takes to win North Carolina? It's about time for you to decide.
And Fox 8 has team coverage with everything you need to know before Election Day. Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer and Nick Sturdivant have the latest on the messages of both campaigns, and Michael Hennessy has more on what you need to know at the polls tomorrow.
Yeah, let's start with Nick, though, live in Raleigh, where Trump held a rally earlier this afternoon. Nick.
Well, Katie, as we mentioned before, it was a very lively crowd here at the Dorton Arena. This is one of 5 stops for Donald Trump today. And one of the most important things he stressed on today was jobs, bringing jobs back here to North Carolina. He was also very confident that tomorrow he'll win battleground states like North Carolina, Ohio, Michigan. And of course, he took shots at his opponent, Hillary Clinton, from her having entertainers come out during her rallies to the controversy surrounding her emails.
She's a cheat. She is a cheat. She never reported it. She's a cheat. So supposing instead of her, supposing somebody gave Donald Trump the questions to the debate. Headlines all over the world. He must withdraw from the race. You don't even hear anything about crooked Hillary. She got the questions. To me, that's such a big deal.
And Trump is headed to Pennsylvania, and he still has a few more stops before the night is over.
It's going to be a long night for both candidates.
No
Nick, thank you.
Well, now let's check in with Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer live at UNC Greensboro, where former President Bill Clinton spoke earlier today. Jasmine.
Neo, President Bill Clinton was introduced by Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn here at Kaplan Commons. He was about a half hour late and spoke for about 10 minutes, but his message was clear that North Carolina and American voters have the power to make change, whether, in his words, it's forward or backward. Now, the first 5 minutes of his speech, however, was interrupted by a group of protesters holding up what appeared to be Black Lives Matters banners, shouting, "You have blood on your hands." Now, Clinton campaign staff asked them to leave to avoid Secret Service having to escort them out. They did leave peacefully, and Clinton never stopped with his message of the importance of going to the polls and voting who he says is the most qualified candidate. He spoke specifically to education reform in this country and reducing student debt, which of course grew a large cheer from the crowd. He also talked about Hillary Clinton's vision for building a better economy. He says the former Secretary of State is one who has a better plan to support the middle class. Here's what he had to say to a mixed crowd of students, Greensboro voters, and Clinton supporters from out of state.
So tomorrow you vote for change. The only question is, are you going to change backwards and go back to what messed us up, or change forward and build on what's been done so we can have shared prosperity?
I'm from Howard University in Washington, D.C. I'm actually here from a voter action project to help improve votes here in North Carolina. So really with that, coming down and being able to see Mr. Clinton, seeing the little protest happening here, I understand there's a lot of racial tension going on, but we have to understand that we're trying to make the world a better place. And we're understanding that, we may not agree with everything, but it's better than having somebody like Donald Trump in office.
And there are about 10 students from Howard University. They tell me after today, tomorrow, they plan to be in Charlotte to actually transport people to the polls. And here, Hillary Clinton's staff passed out voter polling information as far as where people could go. In fact, just across the street is a polling location, and Guilford County Board of Elections have already taped off and placed out the signs ready to go for tomorrow. Neil, Katie?
All right, Jasmine, thank you. And if you didn't vote early, it means you missed your chance for same-day registration. And if you recently moved, chances are your polling place did as well.
And the last thing you want to do is show up at the wrong place tomorrow and find out that you can't cast a regular ballot. But in that case, you may be asked to cast a provisional ballot. So what are they, and are they counted? Fox 8's Michael Hennessy joins us now live from Winston-Salem.
Michael, provisional ballot should really be a last resort, right?
Yeah, that's right, Neil. Let's say, for example, one of you just moved from Forsyth County to Guilford County or vice versa and didn't change your registration beforehand. Like we said, same-day registration would have been the best bet, but same-day registration is not offered on Election Day. So let's run through the scenarios here. If you moved to a different precinct in the same county less than 30 days before the election, you could still vote at your old precinct tomorrow. If it's been longer than 30 days, you can go to your old precinct, ask for a transfer, and bring it to your new polling place, but that could take a little while. The provisional ballot is a little different. This would pertain to things like moving from county to county. It's what the Board of Election refers to as their safeguard ballot. It covers everything we just talked about and more.
So if you're uncertain as to your eligibility or your registration, if we can't find you in the registration books, we'll offer you a provisional ballot. Or if there's a question about what jurisdiction, what districts you're in, and the candidates that you think you're supposed to be voting for, you can vote on a provisional ballot.
And if they get any of those questions wrong when you cast that provisional ballot, there is a chance that it may not count. So what they'll do is they will take your ballot. The Board of Elections workers will do their research on your voter history, where you should have been voting, who you should have been voting for. Then they will pass that along to their board, and their board will have until November 18th when they certify their results to decide if your vote will count or not. Back to you guys.
All right, Michael, thank you.
All right, polling sites all across North Carolina will open at 6:30 tomorrow morning and stay open until 7:30 at night. But it's a good idea to go ahead and check your polling site location tonight. It is a very easy thing to do. Just log on to the State Board of Elections website. That is ncsbe.gov. Hover over the Voter Tools category and click on Polling Place Lookup. Then just go ahead and type in your address and hit search to get your designated polling site for Election Day.
And before you vote, make sure you watch one of our You Decide 2016 election specials. The first one airs tonight at 7 o'clock. It's a great chance for you to learn more about the candidates for governor and U.S. Senate here in North Carolina, as well as the local bond issue, and get some analysis from our experts. That's all right here on Fox 8 beginning at 7 o'clock tonight, and we will have more special election coverage tonight after the Fox 8 10 o'clock news as well.
Well, progress on a major highway project that will bypass north of Winston-Salem. You can see the road is starting to take shape, too, as Department of Transportation says it's making parts of this project a priority. They're shifting the budget to accelerate sections of the loop by 2 or 3 years in some cases. Part of this beltway is expected to be finished as early as late 2018. Transportation leaders say this will have a great impact on traffic around Winston-Salem.
People may not ever use this particular stretch of road. It will have a positive impact on their commute because it will pull truck traffic and other things out of the general line of traffic.
The overall cost of the eastern portion of the Beltway is about $1 billion. The project is divided into segments so that folks can start using portions as soon as construction is finished.
Well, tonight's a big night, to say the least, for the country's largest city, New York City, hosting rallies for both presidential campaigns. It's something that hasn't happened in many decades, why police there say they need to be ready for anything. And yes, we all need an energy boost sometimes, but we've also been warned about the dangers of reaching for those energy drinks too often. You're going to meet a man who learned that the hard way, the serious health condition he's now dealing with. You're watching Fox 8.